So we just got a ton of new information about Blue Lock Season 2's animation problems. And this is coming from the same animator Martin, who had spoken out before, but now he's clarifying quite a few things in an interview. And to start, he's been in the animation industry for almost 2 years. It'll be 2 years in December, so he's definitely a credible source. Outside of working on Blue Lock, his other notable works are with Dan and Near Automata. Now, when he got brought on to Blue Lock, he actually got brought on as a non-contract worker, which is a pretty big deal in the animation industry because about 92% of animation work in major studios is going to be contract work, and 82% around the entire industry is contract work. So obviously, to be brought on as a non-contract worker is a pretty big deal, and also explains how he was able to just kind of leave after the second episode. Now, he does state in the beginning the deadline really wasn't that bad, but it got increasingly worse over time. And this is where the biggest problem comes in, which is the production committee. Not the studio, not the director, not the talent, it's the production committee. So for those who are unaware, the production committee is actually separate from the studio, and they are the ones who fund the project and decide all of the deadlines. And the reason is because they're the ones who are funding the project, so they're the ones who have all the money, and as we know, money talks. Now, the studio does help with negotiations, but there's only about 10 to 20% of studio members in the committee, and the other 80 to 90% of the committee is just the ones with all the money. So, as I'm sure you can guess, a lot of times the decisions don't go in favor of the studio. Now, we already know that Martin is a layout artist. However, what animations he did do for movements were actually cut due to time. And he said because his position was an isolated position, he really couldn't communicate with the other animators, which also didn't help with a lot of his cuts being cut out of the actual scenes. Not only that, but the pay is even worse than we thought, because this month alone for animation work, he has only made $65, and Blue Lock paid 32 of that. And we know this has been a problem since JJK Season 2, because some of those animators only got paid $16 for their work. And before anyone asks, yes, he was paid in yen, we're just converting it to dollar amounts. And sadly, for those who thought the animation was going to get better, he specifically says that it's probably only going to get worse because the animation issues are going to have a snowball effect. So each episode is just going to get worse and worse and worse. But the main thing he wanted to clarify is it's not just the studio, it's not the directors, it's not the animation talent. The main issue is the production committee. But that's pretty much the breakdown of everything he had to say about Blue Lock Season 2. Let me know what you guys think about it. And if you want to see everything he's had to say, then make sure you check out the full interview.